Hey guys, what's going on? It's Coach Bronson here. It is Tuesday night. We are going live, as always, talking about health and fitness. We got some good stuff today. Today we're talking about why you need muscle, what it's good for, that has nothing to do with your fitness, right? Obviously, it has to do with your health. Obviously, it has to do with your quality of life. But we're talking about ways that your muscle impacts your life that don't have to do with getting bigger, stronger muscles in the gym, right? It's not all about just weightlifting. All right, so now, but before we get started, okay, you guys know I got to do this. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. You click on the bell so you're notified every time a new video comes out. I put videos out every Tuesday live, and sometime later on the week, usually Thursday or Friday, some other kind of video goes out, something that's informational, sometimes an interview with somebody else. I love to get other people on and let them share their stories and experiences and some wisdom. I got some good stuff coming up, by the way, in the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye out for that. And then lastly, please share this information, share this video with somebody you care about, share it with everybody you know. Go post it on your social media. Let the whole world know why muscle is important. Because if you've heard me say anything, you know that for me, muscle is more important than fat. If you're going to improve your quality of life, then you should build muscle and improve your body's ability to do things and worry less about how small your pant size are. Okay. All right. So yes, there is plenty of turkey left. That was a 25-pound turkey. It's only been 2 days since we got it. We have had a lot of turkey around. Um, so just a quick segue before we start talking about muscle. We got a turkey. The couple weeks before, we got like 20 pounds, probably more than that, of other types of meat. We got kangaroo and ostrich and goat and um, we got all kinds of different stuff, antelope and some other things, as well as beef and different types of pork rump and all kinds of stuff. So we've got more meat in this apartment right now than we know what to do with. So yes, there's definitely some turkey left. Okay, so muscle. You guys know that muscle is life. Muscle is the organ of longevity. We talk about this often. If you listen to me, muscle is the only organ. Okay, it's the only organ that, and I could be wrong. There may be something else out there. It's the only organ that I know of. Okay, the only part of the body that actually interfaces with our physiology, our biology, and our neurology all at the same time. Okay, our central nervous system has an intimate relationship with the musculature. Our physiology, the things that our body can do, right? The physical aspects of what our body can do and how it functions is intimately connected to how much muscle we have and how healthy our muscle is. And the biology, there are things within our muscles. We're going to talk a little bit today about the chemistry of our body and how dependent that is on having a lot of muscle. Okay. Chemically, biologically, or neurologically, muscle is the most important organ in your body. Okay. So I want you to think about that as we go through this. Okay. And the reason we're talking about this is because everybody that I talk to, I know that this is ingrained in our heads when we think about fitness, we think about exercise, we think about all of the things that we do to get big and strong and to look good and to look fit and to look good naked and all that stuff. Okay. It's all about aesthetics. It's all about getting a certain look. It's about getting into a certain size of clothes. It's about the perception of how we look and feel, all of the things that are around the muscles that we can flex. Okay, the muscles that we can flex. Yes, that is a benefit. Being strong is needed, right? All of those things. Looking fit because you are fit, fantastic. That's great. But I want you to understand that what we do in the gym has nothing to do with what we do in the gym. Everything that you do in the time and place that you have set aside for exercise and fitness is about improving your quality of life. Okay. That means improving the function of your body, which has nothing to do with how much you can squat. It has nothing to do with how much you can curl. It has nothing to do with how far you can run. Okay. How those things that you do in your training translate into how your body functions is what we're talking about. And that's where these 6 reasons why muscle matters are very important. Okay. The first thing we're going to talk about is metabolic. Okay, we're going to talk about fuel consumption. Okay, what's up, Rhonda? What's up, Lana? All right, what's up, Debbie? We're going to talk about fuel consumption. Okay, the more muscle you have, the more glycogen you're going to use. Okay, we know that. We've heard that before. Okay, the more muscle you have, particularly when you're doing exercise or doing something active, okay, mitochondria in your body, you have glycogen stores in your body, okay, in your muscles. The more activity you use, the more you're going to use up that glycogen. Okay, why is this important? Well, because the more glycogen you use, the less your body has to store. Pretty simple. Okay. So if you have more muscle and you're doing more things with that muscle, you have more mitochondria that need more energy. So they turn that glycogen into ATP. They move the muscle and your glycogen stores go down. Okay. We want low glycogen, right? Because then that cycles. Then our body says, hey, now I need more glycogen. Where am I going to get more glycogen to fuel this activity? Okay. Assuming that we're fat adapted, then we're going to go to our fat stores and we're going to convert the fat. Okay, we'll use ketones for fuel, but for things that require glycogen, we're going to convert the fat into glycogen. Okay, and then we're going to use that glycogen. Okay, because the body can turn fat byproducts, ketone byproducts into glycogen using gluconeogenesis. Okay, um, there's two things I want to think about. I want to talk about with that. Okay, glycogen utilization when you have more muscle is increased. Okay, the ability to reduce your blood sugar over time through working out and having more muscle increases. So the more muscle you have, the lower your blood sugar will be. Think about that. Okay. Instead of worrying about controlling every single instance of your life, trying to keep your blood sugar down so that your insulin doesn't rise and you can manage your body fat, if you just build muscle, you're able to manage your blood glucose better. So then you can focus on the function of your body and not worry about what you're going to do to manage how your fat is added. Forget the fat, build muscle. Okay. Focus on building muscle. You're going to manage your blood glucose a lot better. Okay. That's number one. Okay. There's been some studies. There's a study that I've got. There will probably be an article. You guys know I like to write stuff. So there will probably be an article or something on my blog that comes out about this. But there's a study that I was looking at today. And I'll just read this quote. Okay. With type 2 diabetes, a single session of high intensity activity, okay, improved blood glucose for 24 hours, dropped blood glucose for 24 hours while doing high intensity activity for a 2-week program. Okay. Consistently doing some kind of high intensity resistance exercise for 2 weeks, just 2 weeks. Okay. Reduce the average blood glucose by 13% up to 72 hours after the exercise. Reduce blood sugar by 13%. Okay. The more you exercise, the more muscle you build, the more glycogen you're going to burn, and the better your management is going to be of your blood sugar. Okay. Second to that, okay, the faster, the more, because you're fat adapted. I'm going to get an assumption that everybody that I'm talking to is fat adapted or well on their way to becoming fat adapted. And if you looked at my gluconeogenesis article that I posted last week, you can see on my blog, you can see that I break it down into how gluconeogenesis actually complements being ketogenic. Okay. Because gluconeogenic substrates are not just protein. This is a discussion. If you read the article, you'll understand it. Okay. Gluconeogenesis is not just protein. The reason gluconeogenesis exists is to provide glucose when your body runs out of it. That's it. Okay. So if you're low, if your glycogen stores are low in your muscles, your body is going to use the ketones from being ketogenic and recycle them in 2 different cycles, the Krebs cycle and the Corey cycle. Okay. And turn those using gluconeogenesis into glycogen for your body to use. Okay. Ketones can be used by the body for fuel, and they can be broken down into substances that the body can turn into glycogen. Ketones can be used for both fat burning and glycolytic work. Okay. Please understand that. It's not just about protein. Gluconeogenesis is an umbrella term for 4 different ways that your body can turn other things than carbohydrates into glycogen. Okay. 3 of those things can come from ketones. Okay. Being ketogenic and gluconeogenesis complement each other. They are not in competition with each other. Okay. Please keep that in mind. Okay. So what that means is if the more muscle you have and being fat adapted, the more product your body is making from a ketogenic standpoint and from a gluconeogenic standpoint to make fuel. Okay. That's a benefit. Okay. So not only do you use more, but you are get better at using ketones for fuel in both circumstances, right? When it needs ketones and when it needs glycogen. Okay. The more processes that you use under stress, the better those processes become. That's really all we're talking about. Okay. So that's number 1. That's a lot for number 1. Okay. That was like 10 minutes just talking about number 1. Okay. All right. So glycogen utilization increases, your benefit from being ketogenic increases because now you're providing substrates for gluconeogenesis to also provide glycogen, right? It's circular and it's awesome. Okay. That's one thing. The second thing, let's see. Hold on. I got to find my notes here. Where did my mouse go? All right. The second thing we're going to talk about, the more muscle you have. Okay. These are basic ones that we've talked about before. The more muscle you have, the lower your risk of injury. You reduce your risk of injury when you have more muscle. Okay. Obviously, if you are stronger, the more muscle you have, the more dense your body is, the more impact you can take. Okay, to put it simply. Okay, the stronger you are, the more you can resist improper movement or external stresses on your body. Okay, we're talking about mobility, right? Mobility, remember, is not just stretching. Mobility is the combination of range of motion and strength combined together. If you are mobile, then you can move in all the different ways that your joints want to move, and you have the strength to maintain position or move into those positions under resistance. Okay, so mobility is the capability, the ability to move under stress at full range of motion, or to maintain full range of motion and resist movement. Right? If I'm here and I'm trying to push away, I don't want something coming close to me. I'm exerting force to make sure that my computer doesn't jump on my face. Right? I'm pushing away. Okay. So pushing or resisting movement. So moving something or resisting movement. That is a benefit of having more muscle. The stronger you are, the less risk you have of getting hurt. That's pretty simple. Okay. Um, More muscle allows for less stress on your joints and ligaments. Okay. When you have strong muscles, your joints and ligaments have to do less work. So if you have chronic knee pain, chronic back pain, elbow pain, shoulder pain, all sorts of these pains and aches that we get, particularly as we get older, because we all know that you get older and you have to lose muscle, right? No, you can still gain muscle even when you're older. Okay. But unfortunately, most people don't. But you can fix that. You can be the one that's different and change that. Okay. Gaining muscle while you're older is possible, and it can prevent all sorts of injury and all kinds of just pain and hassle that you don't want to deal with. Okay. All right. SodaStream element. Do it. All right. So risk of injury is number 2. Okay. Reduce your risk of injury. The more muscle you have, the less chance of getting hurt you're going to be. Period. Okay. This is a cool one. Muscle drives metabolic health. Okay. We talk about improving your quality of life. We talk about body fat being a symptom of a poor metabolism. Okay. Body fat is a measure, an indicator of how the engine is performing. Okay. Body fat is a measure. It is not the thing. Okay. If you may have heard that phrase before. The measure is not the thing. You can't improve your metabolism by focusing on a measure of how your metabolism is doing. Okay. Think about that. If body fat is an indicator that the engine is broken, then why are you worried about body fat? fix the engine. That's the message. That's what this video is all about. Okay. Muscle drives your metabolism. Okay. And there's two things about this that I want you to wrap your head around. Okay. This is super important, guys. This is super important. Your BMR, your base metabolic rate, is more than just how your body burns fuel. Okay. I don't even look at BMR as a total calorie. I don't look, traditionally, we look at BMR as how many calories you burn in a day. Okay. I don't look at it as that. I look at BMR as how efficient is your metabolism working. Okay. Because here's the deal. If you increase your skeletal mass, if you increase your lean mass, even if your body fat is going down, you're losing weight, but you're increasing your lean mass, you can maintain or increase your metabolic function at the same time. Your BMR can stay the same or increase even if you're losing weight. It has nothing to do with how much you put on the scale. Nothing. It has everything to do with how efficient your body is working. That tells me that my muscle mass is the most important aspect of my metabolic function. My BMR is the measure of how my metabolism is functioning. If I keep my muscle mass up, my BMR maintains. Therefore, my muscle mass is directly correlated to or impactful to or directly related to my metabolic function. Okay, think about that. I want you to sit with that for a second. Okay, it has nothing to do with how much activity you do. It has nothing to do with how much body fat you have. It has nothing to do with how much you weigh. It's all about your muscle mass. Your base metabolic rate is directly tied to how much muscle mass you have. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, muscle drives your metabolism. The second part of that, every metabolic function that you have requires muscle. Okay, I'm going to run through a couple of things here. We think about, this goes back to what I talked about at the beginning. We think about muscle as what's on our body, what we can see. I'm going to go to the gym and work on my muscles. I'm going to get stronger. Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, muscles are part of your eyesight. They're part of your breathing. They're part of your blood circulation. They're part of your digestion. They're part of your excretion, right? Going to the bathroom and taking a poop requires muscles. They're part of chewing. They're part of reproduction. There are muscles involved in every aspect of how your body functions. If you are not maintaining your muscle, okay, when it comes to muscles that we can't necessarily lift weights for, okay, how do we improve our cardiovascular muscles? We do cardio. How do we improve the things that we may not be able to work out per se? Get your protein, get sleep, reduce stress. Okay? Get your protein, get more sleep, reduce stress, and you're going to improve your body's ability to function. It's going to be able to grow muscle. It's going to be able to work more efficiently. It's going to burn more glycogen and more fat. And it's going to do all of those things that we're trying to do. And then you're going to start seeing the fat come off while you're feeling better and getting better at the same time. Okay? Muscle drives your metabolism. Everything your body needs to do requires muscle, guys. It really super does. Okay? All right. The other thing, that's number 3. Number 4. We're halfway there, guys. Halfway there. Okay? Number 4, muscle supports bone health. Okay? You guys have all heard about this. The more muscle you have, the more bone density you have. When you're doing resistance training, you're helping add stress, hormetic stress. We talked about this. Okay? Good stress temporarily. Give it a rest. It helps your body repair and grow thicker, stronger bone structure. Okay. I think that's pretty much well documented. Something we don't think about a lot, but I know particularly if you're pre-osteoporotic, you have osteopenia, maybe you are osteoporotic, then strength training is something that you must absolutely do. The effect of actually doing the work to strength train, okay, and building more muscle are going to help increase your bone density. Okay, it's possible to make improvement there. All right. The second thing is the more muscle you have, the more blood flow you have. Right, the more blood flow you have to all parts of your body, the more beneficial that's going to be, particularly to bone health. Okay, blood comes from somewhere. We all know what bone marrow is all about. And the more blood we can produce, the more things that we can do to supply blood to all the systems of our body, the better things are going to be. What's up, Carrie? How can I get more muscle? Well, I can't afford weights yet. I might be able to soon. Hey, Carrie. So body weight stuff. You have enough weight on your body, right? Body weight work is absolutely something you can do. My beginner program is all body weight. You can sign up for that and do that. You get 3 workouts a week. There's tons of other body workout exercises you can do, but I highly recommend get something that's going to give you functional movement, the 7 functional movements, the 10 characteristics of fitness, the 3 metabolic pathways. There's 20 aspects of fitness in general, but you can hit all of them with body weight stuff. Okay. And if you wanted, the first thing I would recommend outside of weights is get some resistance bands. You can get a full set of resistance bands. If you go to my Amazon link in the bottom of the description of this video, I have a link to my Amazon store. And there's a link to a set of resistance bands you can get there. Okay. If you go to my website, Carrie, yes, I have a link in the description on this video that has all the different services that I have and the app that you can download. And there's a beginner program that's just body weight stuff that you can do. Okay. All right. So that's support bone. So we've got, let's recap real quick. We've got 4 things we've talked about so far. We've got improved glycogen utilization, leveraging gluconeogenesis, right? And then that's number 1. Number 2, reduce risk of injury. Number 3, drive metabolic function. Muscle is your metabolism. Okay. Support bone health, right? The more muscle you have, the better your bones are going to be. All right, here's another one, guys. Something you may not have known about is something that I've just started recently learning about, particularly with all the stuff that's going on. Okay. Muscle actually supports the immune system. Okay. This is something that's on the biological side. Okay. There are compounds that muscle generates, okay, that are used in the immune system. Okay. There's lymphocytes and there's a lot of things. I'm not a scientist. I'm just going to really high level go through this because I'm still, again, this is new for me. But there's some studies, there's some research being done, like I said, particularly with all the stuff that's going on right now on the benefits of, number 1, the ketogenic diet. There's some stuff that's come out recently there. But number 2, on why people with more muscle are not being as affected as much by the thing, okay, as people who don't have muscle. Okay, the lower the muscle mass, the more at risk you are of having severe effects of the thing, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so there are some specific compounds. Okay, if you want to Google this, I'll just say Google this. Google muscle produces compounds that support immune system function. If you're interested in Googling that, just take a look at that. There's some studies out there, a couple articles, things you can take a look at. It's super fascinating. Okay. But again, the more muscle you have, the more you use that muscle. When you exercise, compounds are generated that actually help let the immune system do what it's supposed to do. Okay. Another thing, stress and inflammation. The more muscle you have, the more mitochondria you have. Okay. Mitochondria, the little engines that produce energy in our body, are the densest. The highest concentration of mitochondria is in our muscle. Okay. So the more muscle you have, not only do you have a higher percentage of or higher capacity to burn energy, but you also spread the load of stress, right? So when you do burn energy, the mitochondria individually, think about it like you're crowdsourcing your energy. Okay. The more mitochondria you have involved in providing energy, the less of a tax, the less of a stress or burden it is on each individual one. Okay. So the more muscle you have, the better your stress management and the lower your inflammation. Okay. It's that simple. The more muscle you have, the less work you have to do to get the less effort you have to put in to get the same amount of work done. Okay. That's fantastic. All right. So supports the immune system, lower inflammation, lower stress, and actually generates chemicals that help your immune system work better. Okay. Number 6, guys, and this is the super, super and most important one because this is where the rubber meets the road. Okay. There are dozens, hundreds of studies, and the percentages range all over the place. Okay. They range all over the place. Remove. Okay. Anywhere from 30% to 60%, 70%. Okay. Based on what we're talking about and the ages and the ranges and how they look at things. Right. But the bottom line is your percent of mortality or developing metabolic disease goes down dramatically the more muscle you have. Longevity increases, vitality increases, self-independence increases. If you do have to go to the hospital, your recovery time decreases. There's a study out there that talks about the longevity of hospital stays, okay, evaluated by lean mass. And the lower the lean mass, the longer someone stays in the hospital. Think about that. The more muscle you have, the faster you can recover if you do have to go into the hospital for something. Okay. And those statistics, those numbers are repeated over and over and over again. Okay. I cannot stress it enough. Muscle mass is the key to long life, living independently, and having physical freedom for as long as possible. Okay. It's the key. It's the key to everything. Okay. If you can develop your muscle mass, you will be improving your quality of life and decreasing your body fat. So if you really want that body fat to go down, okay, here's the deal. You can focus on body fat, okay, or you can focus on building muscle. Okay. You got 2 options. If you focus on body fat, you will always be focused on body fat. I'm going to say it again. If you focus on body fat, you will always be focused on body fat, because focusing on body fat is focusing on the measure of your health, not the actual issue. Okay. If you focus on improving your muscle mass and fixing your metabolic function, the problem of extra body fat will go away and you will never have to worry about it again. Never have to worry about it again. You won't have those yo-yos up and down. You won't have to try something and then try something else and then try something else. And then you get on and then you get off and this is working. And then I got to try this hack. And then I got to take this. I got to figure out how to break this plateau. If you focus on body fat, you will always be focused on body fat. If you focus on fixing the cause of your body fat, you will never have to worry about body fat again. Okay. That's what I want to leave you with, guys, because that is the super important thing. That's what this whole process is about. You are here to improve your quality of life. And that's what I want to help you do. Okay. Anybody have any questions? I see we got, let's see. I have a set of power blocks with the dumbbell exercises you just did videos for. Be a good place to start. Absolutely. Power blocks are a fantastic option for dumbbells. You can do all sorts of things with them. I've got, if you guys haven't seen, I have like almost 300 movement videos in my movement and exercise library. If you're interested in signing up for either my beginner or my functional fitness program, I break all that stuff down in the app, in the videos. You get workouts sent to your phone every day. There's all sorts of stuff there. Complete functional fitness program with coaching, with the community, everything that you need to get started on increasing your lean mass and improving quality of life. All right, guys, take it easy. If you have any questions, post in the comments. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, join the Facebook group, Apex Health and Fitness Keto Carnivore. That's where you can find me and a bunch of other fantastically awesome people. All right, please share this. And Carrie, if you can't afford me right now, that's perfectly fine. Hop in the Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group, I post something in there pretty much every day. Other people post stuff in there. Ask questions. Start doing stuff. Engage in that group. There's a ton of people in there that do use the app. There's a ton of people in that have been clients of mine in the past. So there's a lot of information. There's a lot of experience in there. And everybody wants to help everybody. So Facebook, guys, Apex Health and Fitness, Keto Carnivore. Also, there's a cheaper option. If you guys can't afford regular coaching, like one-on-one coaching or anything like that, we have group coaching every month. On the third Wednesday of every month, I do a group Zoom call that you can sign up for. It's a 6-month subscription every month for 6 months that you will go over coaching. We go over specific questions that you have. You can break out your macros if you want to talk about what your body composition is, how you're doing with workouts, whatever it is. We can talk about this stuff. So it's a group atmosphere. Everybody is on there trying to do their thing, and I'm there to help. So take a look at that as well. All that information is on my website. If you have any questions, just ask. See you guys next week.